Hey everyone, good afternoon. Welcome again to the Middletown Area Historical Society's opening Middletowns History Vault. We are in downtown Middletown today at another beautiful but breezy Sunday afternoon. So come on in, and we're going to talk about the great Middletown fire of 1910. We're right down here in downtown Middletown where all of that action took place. As you come in, hit those emojis, let us know you're here, make a comment, tell us where you're from. Again, downtown Middletown today. We're going to talk about this entire area and what took place in 1910. So it was a breezy, quite windy day, almost much like today if you're here in the Middletown region, on Saturday, April 9th of 1910. And day was going on just as normal. People were visiting the marketplace, which is actually right back here. This Borough Hall was the farmer's market. And the day was wrapping up at the farmer's market. The janitor threw the refuse into the stove, which was very common to burn your trash back then. Well, the story goes that the janitor had left the front door of that stove open, and some of the embers jumped out onto the floor and set the pine floors of the farmer's market on fire. That place went quickly up into a blaze, and the winds caused the spread of that fire to just spread rapidly. It would end up going and burning down 4 blocks of downtown Middletown. Volunteer firefighters from Middletown, Columbia, Harrisburg, Lancaster, and Steelton would come to try to put out this blaze as it continued to go. They said it sounded like a freight train, the fumes of the fire burning through all the buildings throughout the town. The sparks traveled so far that it actually set the fairgrounds. Middletown used to have a set of fairgrounds where Fink Elementary School is. Some of you may remember where Feezer, or one of Middletown's older high schools, was located on Race Street. It actually set the grandstands there at that fairgrounds on fire as well. And it set 12 homes in Royalton, which is about a half a mile over where that took place. Set 12 homes on fire there. That's how bad this wind was blowing. Overall, 75 homes were consumed, 40 people lost their homes, and it caused, back then, $400,000 in damage. That's equivalent to about $11 million today. Now, I think we all can agree that $11 million would not rebuild 4 square blocks of downtown Middletown today, but the equivalency between money then to now is about $11 million. The next day, curious seekers from all over arrived in Middletown by train. They wanted to see what the Great Fire of Middletown had done to the little town. So they came and they gawked and they awed at the destruction. It's said that some 20,000 people came to visit Middletown that next day to see the damage up close and personal. So pretty destructive, but I think the photos we actually have, I have some volunteers from the Historical Society here with me today, and I thank them for showing up and helping me out with today's video. But these photos are going to really show you that destruction and how bad this fire was here for the borough. So I'm going to flip the camera around and we're going to take a peek at these photos. Okay, just real quick, we're in downtown Middletown, as I said. And if you look down the street here, this building, which is now Borough Hall, was the farmer's market. That's where the fire took place, and the winds blew this way, destroying pretty much everything in its path. And if we come over here, we have some trustees and some volunteers from the Historical Society. We'll try to take a look at these pictures, and you can just see the absolute devastation and destruction. Nothing left behind except for some brick columns, partial brick walls. Maybe we could see this one is just absolute leveled to the ground. The fire just simply decimated everything in its place. And all these photos are copies that the Historical Society has. And you could certainly come to the museum at 29 East Main Street here in Middletown sometime once they get back open. and you could take a peek at these photos and talk to the members of the Historical Society in depth more about this fire. You could see here, this is actually a photo, if we could see it hopefully, of what the town looked like before the fire took place. You can see the buildings going, there was vendors on the street, but then the fire just completely, get your shadow, decimated the downtown, completely destroying it. There was simply nothing left. The fire blew from the west to the east and destroyed the old Opera House, which is now the Elks movie theater, and destroyed the YMCA building we had here in Middletown. So it was quite a big tragic event here in the borough. But one thing that I'd like to leave you with, and it was from our great press and journal here in town, who was here for 160 years, correct? 160 years. They wrote this in their article. They said the destruction was obvious. What they had missed was the town's heart, its fight. Middletown has seen more bumps than any other town its size, yet has always nobly come out of all their trying experiences. Several destructive floods, a terrible ice gorge, a bank failure. It had lost its pipe mill, and now during this fire the very heart of the town is burned out. What is next? But the town is not dismayed and will rise even from this disaster to be a more beautiful and prosperous town. So for those who know what Middletown looks like, it wasn't like this in 1910. You know, a lot of this is all different. Most of the buildings were only 2-story, small structures. The fire had taken place. Vendors, shop owners had just bought their spring and summer products, and the fire took place. They lost all their inventory, everything they had to sell in their buildings. But here we are. Middletown is rebuilt. It continues to grow. It continues to be redeveloped. New businesses come and go. We open, keep going, we keep churning along. So everybody, that's the fire of 1910. Major destruction in downtown, and but Middletown keeps going. As always, if Middletown history is something that just has your heart, or history period, please consider a contribution. Middletown Area Historical Society, 29 East Main Street, Middletown, Pennsylvania, 17057, and any contribution will be greatly appreciated. The Historical Society is a 501c nonprofit organization, and we do everything we can to collect, preserve, and teach. Please share these videos. Spread this word. I can't express that enough. Just click that share button and spread the history of Middletown outside of Middletown and beyond. Thank you, everyone. We hope you have a wonderful day. We'll see you actually in 2 weeks. Next week's Labor Day weekend, so we're going to take a weekend off. We'll see you in 2 weeks. Thanks, guys. Have a great day.